What if I told you there was once a man so wealthy that his fortune was beyond calculation? A ruler whose generosity could collapse economies. A king whose story has been buried in the shadows of history. Forget the modern billionaires, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, or Rockefeller. Today, we uncover the untold story of Mansa Musa, the richest man who ever lived. A man they don't want you to know about. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear will leave you questioning why his name isn't written in every history book.
Mansa Musa wasn't just rich. He was the ruler of the Mali Empire in West Africa during the 14th century, a kingdom so powerful it controlled nearly half of the world's gold. Yes, half. Imagine the influence of a man who literally sat on the golden throne of the earth. But Musa's story isn't just about money. It's about power, faith, and a journey that shook the medieval world to its core.
Before Musa, Mali was already a growing empire. Its land stretched across what is now Senegal, Mali, Niger, and beyond. The empire thrived on trade, salt, ivory, and most importantly, gold. Caravans of camels marched across the Sahara, carrying Mali's treasures to North Africa and beyond. And at the center of this trade was Timbuktu, a city that would later become legendary. When Musa rose to power in 1312, he inherited a land of riches. But what he did with that wealth, that's what turned him into legend. In 1324, Mansa Musa embarked on a journey that the world would never forget. His pilgrimage to Mecca, also known as the Hajj. But this was no ordinary pilgrimage. He didn't go alone. He traveled with a caravan so massive it stretched as far as the eye could see. 60,000 men, including soldiers, officials, and servants. 12,000 slaves, each carrying golden staffs. Hundreds of camels and horses, each loaded with pure gold. When Musa reached Cairo, the capital of Egypt, he began giving away gold to the poor, the merchants, and even the rulers. At first, it was seen as generosity. But then something extraordinary happened. Musa gave away so much gold that the value of gold itself collapsed. The Egyptian economy spiraled into inflation that lasted for over a decade. One man, one journey, changed the financial system of an entire region. And this was just the beginning. When Musa finally returned from his pilgrimage, he brought more than fame and wealth. He returned with architects, scholars, and artists from across the Muslim world. He transformed Timbuktu into a city of light, a hub of learning and culture. He built the legendary University of Sankore, which housed hundreds of thousands of manuscripts, works of science, mathematics, astronomy, and law. Students traveled from every corner of the world to study there. At its height, Timbuktu rivaled the great cities of Europe and the Middle East. And yet, while we are taught about Rome, Greece, and London, Timbuktu's brilliance is often left out. Why? Because it proves that Africa was not a dark continent. It was a center of wealth, knowledge, and power. So why don't we hear about Mansa Musa in our history books? Because his story shatters the narrative that wealth, power, and innovation only came from the West. Musa's empire showed the world that Africa was not just a land of slaves or colonization, but a cradle of prosperity. His wealth was so vast, historians say it's impossible to measure in today's money. Some estimate it would be over $400 billion, more than any billionaire alive today. And yet,
his name remains in the shadows.
Mansa Musa's story is more than a tale of riches. It's a reminder of the history they don't want you to know. A history where Africa stood tall, powerful, and unrivaled. So now I'll leave you with this question. If one man's generosity could shake the world, what else lies hidden in the pages of history, waiting to be uncovered?